Hey, not to cut you off.
Welcome in, everyone, to the first ever episode of Enjoy Basketball's Not to Cut You Off. I'm your host, producer Christian. Our four panelists are here to break down the biggest NBA playoff storylines and flex their debate muscles. Each round, you guys have 45 seconds to answer the question. If you go over time, I will mute you. At the end of each round, all four will vote for who they thought had the best answer, and I'll be handling out 2 bonus points of my own. Oh, first, let's meet our panelists.
I'm D Mills. It's nice to meet y'all. I'm here to win and take this shit home. Ain't nobody gonna intro themselves?
I'm Pee Wee the plug. You already.
But they know who he is, man. I'm Mike. I'm Mike Bender.
I'm Mike.
That's KOT4Q. That's Pee Wee the plug, and that's D Millie over there. If they don't know, they don't know nothing.
That's little shirt ass.
Well, why you got on Ivy shirt?
What? This is my shirt.
Yeah, you motherfucker wear his daughter's shirt. Talking about his laundry day.
Y'all crazy.
That is the biggest Tigger of all time, by the way. He has never been more widely spread than on
Where the
that
fuck
shirt.
do you even buy a shirt like that from?
Disney.
At Disney? What do you mean?
I'm grown. I don't fucking go to Disney. I was just talking shit.
There was a lot of negative discourse around the NBA this season, a lot of criticism of the on-court product, even people suggesting stuff like eliminating the corner three. With how these year's playoffs are shaping up, possibly the most competitive and exciting in years, how important is this postseason for the league's perception? Do you think it can silence some of that noise?
I don't think this year is any different than any other season. I think that the people that care will be watching, and the people that don't care will also be watching, because that's just what basketball is, right? If there's any year that's going to be a pivotal, I think it's be more next year when we have 4 to 5 different people that have playoff viewership. But like people that are talking about the way the game is played, they're still going to care about this postseason. So whether it be a Lakers win, whether it be a Celtics win, whether it be a Cavs win, whether it be a Miami Heat win, it won't matter in the grand scheme of things. We've already sold our rights to all these other people. There's going to be an extreme amount of money going in and going out every single season. This year is no different than any other.
Pierre, 45 seconds.
I think this is a real big year for the NBA. Each year that goes by, the older stars get closer and closer to retirement. This is one of the first years where the door is kind of wide open for somebody else to get in. Last year we had Jason Tatum. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the favorites right now. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell in that group. The Rockets are the 2 seed with a young team. It's looking like, we're progressing into an era where we're getting new stars, not only as quote unquote top tier talent, but they're positioning themselves to be on championship contending teams. And I think they'll become a more household name for when the LeBron, Steph, and KD start to exit. So I do think this is a big year. And though,
Not to cut you off, Pierre, but there's your 45 seconds. Darrick.
For me personally, I don't really think this is a big year for the NBA. I think, generally speaking, and then when it comes postseason, you still see the ratings be extremely high. Adam Silver just said the second half of the season, the ratings had increased from the first half of the season. So it shows that people genuinely probably don't really care about the beginning of the season. Once it starts getting to the important stuff, that's when people start to tune in again. And also, I think the league are in good hands when you're talking about post LeBron, post KD, post Steph. I think you have good up-and-coming talent like the Detroit Pistons, OKC. Jokic is still young. That Denver team, their core, they're going to still be around for a little minute. So I still think that there's some hope when you talk about the future of the NBA, because the Pacers are still a fun and exciting team that if you were to recommend someone who isn't watching back.
Thank you, Darrick. Mike.
I don't think it's a big year for the NBA at all. I think people who are going to complain about those type of things just naturally complain. I think a large portion of people are still watching the game, still watching and enjoying it. I think a lot of the analytics and stuff like that may come from other sources, whether people are available to watch the game and just ticket price, just things of that nature. I think the league has probably the most talent it's had in a very, very, very long time. I think we're getting close to the point too where we're going to have 10 deep in each conference. In the postseason, it's going to matter just because it's always anytime there's a big game, anytime there's meaningful basketball, the eyes are going to be on it. So I'm not surprised if regular season views are dropped and it picks up.
All right, good stuff first round. Text me who you guys thought had the best answer. Kenny and Darrick both got 2 votes. They each get a point. And I agree. That's who I was going to give my points to. So 2 for Kenny, 2 for Darrick. Pierre and Mike, plenty of time to get on board. Which of these amazing first-round series do you guys think is most likely to go a full 7 games, and why? Mike.
I think I would go with the Clippers Nuggets series going 7 games, just because the Clippers are playing really good ball right now. James Harden is at the top of his game and probably the healthiest he's been going into the postseason in a long time. And then he's got Kawhi Leonard right there next to him, and he's been just as hot as him. And this is the time that they needed it. But on the other side, Denver still has Jokic, and no matter who, he could be literally rolled out there with us 4, and they still have a chance to win the game. Jamal Murray, I know he hasn't had the hottest season. He did have that little stretch in like whatever month it was where he got, hot. He's a dude that usually picks it up in the postseason, so you got to always be wary of that. And then Michael Porter Jr., like the role players have the reputation of stepping it up.
Pierre.
I'm gonna have to go to Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think it's a really good even matchup there. You have stars and Luka and LeBron. You have Anthony Edwards. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves have a good defensive team to rely on with Rudy Gobert doing his thing. I actually saw today somebody on Twitter posting all of the isolations from the 2024 playoffs that Rudy was involved in. And Rudy did a lot of better job than I think a lot of people give him the credit for. So you're going to have some matchups, some schemes. You got depth, bench pieces, and you have 2 teams that have some playoff experience there on the line. So I believe that could be a series that goes 7 games. It's going to be a lot of schematic things going on early. I think both teams will be able to adjust. And then the game 7 comes down to your star players.
Darrick.
For me, I'm going to have to go to New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons, just because I think realistically, when you're talking about matching up pretty evenly, I think they match up pretty evenly. I think the guard power in this series will be very fun, very exciting when you talk about Jalen Brunson and Cade Cunningham. And I also think the Pistons just had that don't back down mentality. When you talk about them wanting to come out and be physical and punch the Knicks in the mouth, there's one team out there that ain't afraid to do that, and I think that is the Detroit Pistons. So I think this was like a match made in heaven for a gritty, tough, physical 7-game series. Now, I do think the Knicks may have like the Karl-Anthony Towns, but I also think that the Detroit Pistons have so much depth, and I think the 3-point shooting also for the Detroit Pistons, I think, could be a really big advantage.
Kenny.
I'm gonna switch hats, man, because I think it's been sitting right here the whole time. The Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors is the one for me. I think that a lot of people are looking at the Warriors as the favorite, and they probably should be the favorite. Don't get me wrong, but I think that the things that the Rockets excel at are the things that the Warriors are trash at. They're a bad rebounding team. Alperen Sengun and Steven Adams are plus 15 per 100 possessions together on the court. It's a team that's always turned the ball over, whether it be Steph Curry by himself, Steph Curry with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry with Jimmy Butler. This is a high turnover team every single year, regular season and postseason. The Houston Rockets are a high turnover forcing team. This is one of the teams that when you look at the Houston Rockets, you say, hey, man, they don't have any half-court scoring. That is true. But are you trying to tell me we get 5 more possessions off turnovers? We get 5 more possessions off offensive rebounds? I think that is a benefit for them. But the Warriors do have the superstar power that I think could carry this.
Text me who you think won that round.
Take this weak ass hat off.
Point for Pierre. And I'm going to give points to Pierre and Kenny. So after round 2, we've got 3 for Kenny, 2 for Pierre, 2 for D Mills, 0 for Mike. But 2 more rounds, plenty of opportunities to score. Which bench player do you think could swing a series in the first round that could really make that big of an impact that a bench player really swung the series in the first round? Starting off with Pierre.
There's a lot in these playoffs in these series, but I think a guy is out there in that Laker Timberwolves series again. That's Naz Reid. They actually have a few of those guys, but I think depending on how Rudy plays offensively, he can come in and negate a lot of things. It's also with Julius Randle, the way he can shoot the basketball will kind of negate some of the potential trapping that the Lakers might be able to do. And anytime you can have a big that can space the floor and make sound decisions with the basketball, I can see him really giving them a plus. He's also been a guy that's had moments where he's hit big shots, game-winning shot or game-time shots. and has had games where he's led them in scoring. So we talking about a reigning sixth man of the year. Anytime he's in a series, he can change the swings of it. So give me Naz Reid.
Darrick.
For me, I'm gonna actually go his teammate. I'm gonna go Nikhil Alexander-Walker. When you talk about needing bodies to throw at Luka Doncic, I think Nikhil Alexander-Walker is one of them guys. And also, I think a guy who wants to run a pick and roll like Luka, Nikhil's screen navigation has been so good since he's really bought into this defensive mindset. And I just think when you talk about his offensive ability to be able to space the floor and knock down timely shots for the Timberwolves, I think if he can be that guy that they can put on Luka and Austin Reeves and kind of be able to give them some hell a little bit, I think he could really swing this series because they're going to really need some bodies to really throw at them because Anthony Edwards ain't going to want to do it all the time. Jaden McDaniels can only guard one player. So Nikhil Alexander-Walker is going to be a big pivotal piece.
Thank you, Darrick. Kenny.
There's a couple different ways I want to go here. I think I'll start off by talking about the same series the rest of them did. Dorian Finney-Smith coming off the bench is really huge here. As I'm sure that the Lakers are going to opt to go small for the majority of this series. He's going to see so many open looks. And we used to make fun of it that when he was a part of the Brooklyn Nets, the ball always found his way into Dorian Finney-Smith's hand when it matters the most. And he is the type of player that can swing the series. You think about what Luka Doncic did with PJ Washington in the second round versus OKC. Dorian Finney-Smith has the opportunity to be their version of PJ Washington because he's going to get open look after open look after open look. Sometimes they're going to opt to put a guy like Mike Conley on him defensively. He's going to have to try to use his size as his to advantage where he's outside of the three-point range, get into the basket. So I think he on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball is going to be important.
Mike.
I'm going to go with DeAndre Jordan. It might not be for the first series, but overall in general, not DeAndre Jordan. I'm going to go DeAndre Hunter. I don't know why DJ was on my mind. DeAndre Hunter is my pick. It might not be for the first series, but overall in general, the Cavs need an extra person that's going to be able to light it up on the offensive side and then also provide some defensive effort and give some size on that part of the floor as well, especially when they match up with a team like the Celtics or something like that who are all looking for that type of matchup. He's going to be probably the biggest X factor when it comes to that. Talking about guarding players like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and then also when teams are struggling, maybe Evan Mobley is struggling, maybe Darius Garland is struggling for the Cavaliers. DeAndre Jordan is capable of putting up 25 to 30 points on great efficiency. DeAndre.
I know who not getting a point on this one, bro.
Hey, I was like, is he, I was like, are the non-Jokic minutes that? I was like, I love it. I love the take and Pierre. Holy shit! I'm glad you both.
This show is going to be very good for you, Mike. Because
I'm doing better than I thought I would.
Hey, that's all that matters.
I'm competing with myself.
You losing.
Hell no.
Nigga, you got 1 point, and that shit came from me because I couldn't vote for myself, and then fucking.
I have 2 points.
Fucking Christian gave you a point, and I gave you a point. Christian gave you that courtesy ass point.
And you got 0. You about to have 0 again.
Hey, bro. Shut up.
Sometimes that's all you can do. Oh man!
Can everyone please text me who they got for that round? The panel vote goes to Kenny, and I'm giving my points to Darrick and Pierre.
Bet.
So at the end of round 3, 4 points for Kenny, 3 for Pierre, 3 for Darrick, 0 for Mike.
I'm not gonna lie, the clip out of you saying DeAndre Jordan can give you 25 on great efficiency. It's gonna be hilarious.
You made a good argument for DeAndre Hunter.
No, you didn't.
Nobody said Malik Beasley though. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
It ain't shit I could say much about 45 seconds for Malik. That's just shooting the ball.
Which player has the most pressure on them in this first round and why? Starting with Darrick.
For me, pretty evidently, I think it's Julius Randle. We talking about a guy that's making $30+ million on a contract year with that player option. His market is murky. We don't really know what Julius Randle's market is, just because a lot of teams may not want to pay that price tag when you talk about bringing him in and being a guy that consistently throughout his career has shown you that he does not adapt well to playoff basketball. Coaches have been able to outcoach and coach circles around him to the point to where he damn near becomes a non-factor when we know that he's supposed to be either. When the Knicks, he was sometimes looked at as a number one, and now with the Timberwolves, he looked at as to be a quality number two. It's a lot of pressure on him when you talk about him wanting to get that next big bag. And I just don't know if he shits the bed in this postseason, another team is going to want to pay him significant money to come in to be.
Good stuff, T-Mills. Kenny.
I'm going to go with Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges was a player that the New York Knicks traded a bunch for, 5 first-round picks, including some swaps, some players, and they got one win better than they were last year. So things definitely changed quite a bit. Mikal Jail used to be a thing we used to talk about. He was third in Defensive Player of the Year, and this year when we did our award rankings, Mikal Bridges' name didn't come up at all on the defensive side of the ball. And he's also a player similar to Julius Randle that is up for an extension, and he's played every single game. He thinks he's done everything that Tom Thibodeau / the Knicks have asked for him. But what is the market? His teammate OG Anunoby got all the money in the world. I don't think the Knicks look at him and say that, hey, we give him that same exact contract, even if he believes he deserves that type of contract. So where he can really play his value up is playing in this first round series where he will be guarding Cade Cunningham, and maybe in the second round series seeing some Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
Thank you, Kenny. Mike.
I'm going to say Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray has had like a really good time with the Denver Nuggets and like winning the championship and everything. But like we have to keep going and move on. And like Nikola Jokic is still playing at an MVP level. And the Denver Nuggets need to do a good job of surrounding him with the best talent they can to win the championship and continue to be in the team that they are. The Denver Nuggets starters have kind of fallen off. And I think Jamal Murray, the head of that, is one of the main reasons. I'm not sure if it's been injuries. I'm not sure if it's just been, different game schemes or whatever, but he is not looking like the same Jamal Murray we've seen in the past where he's been able to be a guy that can drop a 30-point triple-double alongside Jokic in the playoffs. I think we're looking at him, if he doesn't have the postseason he needs to, Denver's probably making a bunch of big changes.
Oh, yeah. Pierre.
The answer is clear to me. It's Kawhi Leonard. You look at the excitement around the NBA right now. A lot of it is in that Denver versus Clippers series. The way that Kawhi Leonard has come back into the season and made the Clippers look like a team that can go into this postseason and really do some damage. I can't imagine the shock to the basketball world and the Clippers community if, again, Kawhi was not able to finish through a series healthy that they projected to win. So a lot of people believe that they could be a curveball team in the midst of this Western Conference, battle amongst all of these Goliath-ass teams. And if Kawhi Leonard had another series where he was only able to play the first 2 or first 3 games, and then, something happens with his knee or his body, I could see that blow to the basketball community as like a damn, we're kind of done with this blue ball high hope thing for Kawhi Leonard.
Finish. Great answers. Send me who you think had the best one. Y'all each voted for each other once, so they cancel out. So only my points matter.
Wow.
And
so
I'm giving my points to.
So how did it go down? I know who voted. I know who I voted for, but who did everybody vote for?
Guess.
I voted for Mike. Mike voted for me. Darrick voted for KB. KB voted for Darrick.
That's correct. Should I give you a point for that?
I think that deserves a point. That's actually insane.
I was going to take a point away from Pierre for being the last one to show up. So now it evens out. I'm giving my points to Mike and Darrick.
Coffee mug.
That's
hey, okay.
Name that win. Okay.
So
final scores.
I got 2 points then, right?
No one got a point from.
I canceled out. Okay.
4 for Kenny, 4 for Darrick, 3 for Pierre, 1 for Mike. That means that Kenny and Darrick will be squaring off in our showdown. Boom.
Shit felt like Denver versus Miami in this month.
All right.
No, congratulations, Darrick.
What I have here on the magic wheel is the last 15 NBA champions. I'm going to spin it. when it lands on a team, all right, get out of here. When it lands on a team, Darrick, you're gonna name a player who was on that roster. Kenny, then you're gonna go just like the wheel game in the past, but you have 10 seconds to name a player on the roster, and then the other person.
Oh, we're not arguing anymore?
No more arguing. This is an objective way to decide our winner.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, you kind of fucking D-Millie up, man. You done changed the ties on him.
No, he's good. I ain't eat today. My brain is not working.
The 2015-16 Cavs. Darrick, go.
You're muted.
Darrick, go.
LeBron.
Kenny.
Kyrie Irving.
Darrick.
Tristan Thompson.
Kenny.
Kevin Love.
J.R. Smith.
Should I wait for your cue or should I just go when he
go
goes?
back and forth.
Oh, okay. Richard Jefferson.
Dellavedova.
Who the fuck is that?
Matthew Dellavedova. What do you mean?
Oh, I didn't hear him say anything.
Oh.
I heard it.
Okay. Channing Frye.
You also got Damian Lee.
No.
Oh,
I was
wait,
gonna say, yeah, please fact check that one.
No. He was on the Warriors.
Kenny, you are the champion of our inaugural episode.
Hey, thank you, because I was about to start struggling for real.
Was Court Brown there?
No, he was there the year before.
Shumpert, Virgil,
Shumpert is a
Jordan McRae.
Of course.
that's what he's probably thinking about on some real shit.
No, I don't know. I mixed their rosters up because they was fucking playing against each other so much.
I don't even think Damian Lee was on the Warriors in 2015, bro.
He was at Louisville. All right, Kenny, you get a 30-second victory lap. Anything you like to say?
An amazing pilot. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let us know. We're always going to be open to new topics. Shout out to our host, Christian, and our head of production, Kat, on the back end. Shout out to my guys. And maybe next week somebody can take us away.
Everywhere I go, got too many bags.